What's up, guys? What's up? Got a new firearm the other day. Check that out. I sold my AR, and it got me this. This is a Winchester Ranger, chambered in 30-30. Wow. I mean, this is not what people would consider the expensive 30-30 by Winchester, because that model is the 1894 Winchester, what's known as the Model 94. The Model 94 is still produced, as far as I know, and it has been produced ever since 1894. This is a cheaper version of that gun. They're essentially the same gun with some differences, I mean, the build quality probably isn't anywhere near the 1894, but I've never actually seen or held or shot an original 1894 or any Model 94 Winchester. This is my first Winchester rifle. And of course, when you open it, the guts want to fall down right there. See that? People don't like that about Winchester. Marlin don't do that. Winchester's the one that does that. This is kind of their trademark. Then, of course, your hammer. It is unloaded, physically unloaded. There is no safety. Usually half cock would be your safety on these. But there is no safety. So if you cock it, pull it back, hold the hammer back like this, squeeze the trigger, and let it up slowly. There we go. Now these guns, I'm not sure on the price of these. I paid $600 for this. But I've read on Facebook that these are, or not Facebook, but like gun sites and people on Facebook that have them. And these are like cheap, beat around versions of the Model 94. And Winchester had one competitor that was very prominent with their lever actions, and that was Marlin. Marlin had their 336 chambered in 30-30. Now, Marlin's great firearms. They are awesome guns. But if you want a great Marlin, you've got to get one that was built before, I think it was 2006, when they were bought out along with Remington Arms by the Freedom Group. Those guys they don't make Marlin like they used to. And even Winchester, they're not made like they used to be. This one, let's see. Right here, if you can kind of see the markings on the barrel here. Winchester Ranger 30-30 Winchester. Made in New Haven, Connecticut. So this one is USA. I think they were outsourced. Winchester was outsourced to a foreign country later in the years. And I'm unsure of the year of this. It is old. I mean, it looks old. But it doesn't look like it's been hunted with or anything very much. But this lever action here. The cowboy lever action. Anyone know who designed that? Just like every firearm design that we know today, John Browning is the one. John Moses Browning is the one that designed this. And lever actions are fun, man. They're fun to shoot. They're nice and light. They're not really heavy. The 30-30 round doesn't recoil very much. It's a very nice gun. It's a very comfortable round to shoot. And if you're in the woods, you don't have to worry about carrying a big, heavy rifle. This, for Georgia, down here where I'm at, this is the most popular hunting rifle that you can get. 30-30 it's America's, hunting caliber. If you go to deer hunting camp, you're going to see either these Winchester rifles, or you're going to see Marlins, 336s, or anyone else that can make a lever action in 30-30, but Winchester and Marlin are about your top 2 contenders. Let's grab some ammo, and we'll have a look at what this thing shoots. Look at this ammo. Look at this price. $30 a box for a box of 20. Man, it's getting expensive. Even for 30-30, it's getting expensive, and 30-30 is hard to find. Here you go. Here's the 30-30 round. Not a very big round per se, but the energy, the carrying energy of this thing. Like when it hits, whatever you're shooting at, this big piece of lead here is going to do some, it's going to do some damage. I mean, I shoot water jugs, stuff like that with it, and it explodes them. Let's put that back in there. Let's not try to put it in the wrong one. But yeah, I mean, 30-30 is like the hunter's caliber. I mean, you got your 30-06, you got your 308, you got your 270, your 300 Win Mag, your 223, 243, things like that. But this, most people in the South that hunt around Georgia, Alabama and stuff, they're going to reach for a 30-30 just because they're so sought after, reliable, and they do the job. I mean, if you're not going to take insanely long shots, you know, say, I don't know, 200 yards, 300 yards, this is really all you need. This will kill anything that's big game, deer, elk. You know, this will kill anything within 75 yards, easy. And really, here in my area, in Georgia, that's about as far as you're going to be trying to kill your deer from, about 75 to 100 yards. But I'm proud to have this thing. It is awesome. I was going to shoot it today, but it's super cold out. Here where I'm at. Got that dovetail rear sight. What looks like a dovetail. I don't know if that's exactly what they call it. I had to paint the front sight. You can't really see it, because the opening here on my rear sight is extremely small, and my crappy eyesight doesn't want to pick it up. But anybody else out there got one of these? Here's your loading gate. That's where it loads. Right here. Stick your round in, leave the case sticking out just a little, and push them in. I think it holds either 5 or 6 rounds. And that's about all you need. I mean, there's no reason why you would need more than that. And I'm proud to have this gun. It's awesome. Now, some of these, the Marlins especially, the bolt on a Winchester is right here. The bolt on a Marlin is right in here. It's a side eject. This is a top eject. You cannot mount a scope here. It makes it very difficult because your cases come out here. You have to side mount it over here somewhere on this side, or maybe on that side, depending. But see, when you open it, let's click it all the way. See, the bolt slides back right here. Down in there is your chamber. The gun looks like it's in incredible shape. This is technically your magazine right down there. That's your elevator. You know, when you, let me get a hold of the lever here. When you start to pull it back up, it's going to lift that round up in there and push it into the chamber. All right, so now we're cocked. Since I did that, it's cocked. There is no safety on here. Usually they have a half cock. This don't have that. This is the first 30-30 I've ever held and ever manipulated like this that does not have a half cock safety. Now, Winchester, they kind of got some flack a while back on their newer rifles they were making because they put a crossbolt safety in here. Marlin did the same thing. And Winchester they doomed themselves. They couldn't compete with Marlin in the sales department. And I'm not trying to say which one is better, although Winchester usually win. But they've been making these guns for well over 100 years without a crossbolt safety. You had a half-cock safety. That's all you needed. And they started getting a lot of flack. People were stopping, They weren't buying the Winchester anymore because that confuses the issue. Is too much that you have to think about before you can make your shot. Because you can have your gun in half-cock position, and all you have to do is slightly lower your hammer before you shoot your deer. But if you have a crossbow safety here, you got to click that off too before you can make your shot, and your animal might get away, or you might forget about this crossbow safety that they put in, and then pull the trigger. Nothing happens. You can't pull the trigger to kill your deer. So people quit buying the Winchester. This is what I've heard and read about. They all started going to Marlin. Marlin's better. They don't have that. Marlin's better. They understand that all you need is a half-cock safety. That's it. And then, of course, Marlin, once they were bought out by the Freedom Group, did the same thing. They started putting crossbow safeties in here. Marlin is not as good as they used to be. Winchester really isn't as good as they used to be. I'm assuming this one is way before 2007, 2006. Unless I'm wrong. But wow. Still can't believe I had it. It's so hard to track one of these down. Now someone's been on this. Look at that. See how the paint's worn off? Someone's been on that barrel band. Must have been disassembled a lot to clean. Disassembly on this, I will never attempt it. I've watched videos on it, and oh my god, there's just so many steps to do the lever action. I might take the time to learn it one day, but I don't know about any time soon. There's not a lot to these guns. Got your forend with your barrel band here that holds it secure, and a barrel band up at the top. Trying to think. Let's see. Is that metal? That feels metal. The barrel band here, they feel like they're metal. And the newer Winchesters, these were plastic to cut down on cost. Shorter action, it seems, from a Marlin. The Marlin seems to have a longer action, but it's got a straight stock. Length of pull on it is 20, I guess, something like that. I mean, it's very comfortable for me when I put it up to my shoulder and put my cheek here. It's very comfortable. I don't feel like I'm straining to look down the sights or anything like that, or that my arms are too far extended out. It seems fine. I haven't shot it yet. I haven't even loaded it, honestly. I don't even know if it works. But here's the thing. Here's why I got this gun. I had a 30-30 before. It was a Marlin. And I was happy over it, man. Shot it a few times. Was able to hit things very well with it. And then one day, I start shooting it. And it begins to misfire. Every third round in the box of ammo. 3 different ammo brands did the same thing. And I was like, I don't understand that. Firing pin was messed up in it. And then I sold it. Got rid of it. I'll get another one day, Yeah. These guns are so hard to track down. They're so hard to get. I mean, these Winchesters, these old ones, and the old Marlin 336s, people, when they get them, people keep them. They generally don't part with them. And I finally found one. Now, I've found a couple new Marlins that were 30-30, But dude, I would never pay money for it. There was one I looked at. Very nice. Stainless steel. All of this. Stainless steel. It held 7 rounds. Something like that is what the guy told me at the store. I start to feel things. Push this loading gate down. Try to put my finger there to how it would be to load it. It almost cut my finger. The edge of this was so rough. And then I was like, I could probably get by that, whatever. No big deal. I put the gun to my shoulder, start looking down the sights. This sight in the rear was crooked. I mean, it was off by a millimeter or more. The front sight up there on the Marlin I looked at was not properly put in. You could see killer tooling marks where they didn't quite do it. They didn't quite drive the front sight in very well. And it was $700, $800. And I was like, I'm not paying that money for that. And then I had my AR for a while, you know. I shot it a little bit. I don't really like them. I mean, they're okay. But, I mean, for a gun like that, that's what the media calls military-style weapon. If it's not fully automatic, I don't want it. I'm just saying. And we can't have that here anyway. So I took it. I sold it. Go to my local pawn shop. They have this sitting behind the counter on the shelf. My dad's like, look at that lever action. And I looked at it and I was like, is that a 30-30? And they said, yup, it's a Winchester. They gave me money for my AR. And I was like, what do you want for it? $600. Sold immediately. Didn't even think twice about it. I just immediately grabbed this up. And it won't go anywhere. I did some research trying to date this thing to find out how old it is. Can't find anything on it. It has a sling stud right there. But the previous owner took the rear one out. The stock says Winchester on it. It's a very cool gun. If you can find one of these, you gun enthusiasts out here, if you can find a Winchester 30-30 or an old Marlin, pre-2006, grab them up. Because 30-30 is getting hard to find. And there's one other thing about these guns that I thought was interesting. So, the Model 94. Let's just say this is a Model 94 from, I don't know, 1894 up to 1964, right? You go to gun shows and you start looking at these Winchesters that people have for sale. You will hear a term, pre-64. Is that a pre-64? Apparently, from 1894 to 1963, they are the most collectible. They are the most sought after of all the Winchester rifles. The Model 94 has been proven, tested for over 100 years to be an absolute perfect rifle. My cousin's got a 30-30 that's a Winchester like this. He'll never get rid of it. I tried to buy it off of him one time, and he was like, nope. That gun ain't going nowhere. But I'll do some shooting on it, and I'll let you guys know how it shoots, if it even works. We shall see. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Go out and pick you up one of these if you can find it. If you can find a 30-30, grab it up. I mean, I'm not trying to say here that this, the old Winchesters and the old Marlins are the guns you have to pay the insane amounts of money for. If you want to get a new Marlin, and you don't find yours to have the issues that people say about, the sharp edges around the loading gate, crooked sights, and things like that, buy it up. Grab it up. Because these rifles are few and far between, it seems. So, thanks for watching, and take care, everybody.